Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today? Still just trying to just get my last few things set up here. May even go make some coffee before we get started. Oh, goodness. Go make coffee. Be right back. Like I said, just still trying to fix the settings here. All right, so we did run those data wicks, so at least those are out of the way. If we can stay under the 77, we may get a nice push down this morning. I think we're going to have to be careful, though. Let me pull up the news. I'm pretty sure we have a lot of news coming up this morning, and I think those were the non-farm payroll numbers. Yeah, so 38 minutes. So that's about what, 45? Yeah. All right. So far, we got a pretty good streak going as far as the winning opening trade. I think we won every opening trade for the last 2 weeks. We did take one small loss yesterday on the Padeas accounts, but not too bad. We got it back to the green. Still kind of trying to set up some things real quick. I feel like that's... Let's see. Something like my numbers shift and it just... There it goes. So... What's up, fish lips? Pretty good. Just kind of set up the settings real quick. It's been pretty easy so far. I mean, I've been having a lot of luck trading the opening. I think I've only had one loss on that opening. That was last Monday in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it's been pretty good with the opening. Unfortunately, the one loss came with the funded account. That's the way it usually goes. I've been trying to build back up my fundeds. Which, I mean, I have. We're back up to 6 because we lost one last month. So a lot of times if I lose a funded, we tend to take a break to make sure we get back in the right rhythm. So we don't go full tilt on the funded. So far, I felt like the 5 minutes have been like the most successful for me as far as consistency goes. It definitely helps me be a lot more patient trading the 5-minute charts. Right now, I think I'm, if we stay under this 21 EMA, kind of possible looking for the downside here. I need to pull up my trading view chart so I can get an idea about what levels we were bouncing off. So we just bounced off the London high, or that one area of the London high from overnight. I know it's not the actual London high, but the one level that I have marked out, it bounced off the 230, almost to the T there. I kind of, let's see, we ran up and retested the bottom of the AM PM session from yesterday. And we got that New York high still from yesterday all the way back up at 26,072. But that doesn't mean anything. I understand. All right, I need to get my chat out real quick so I can keep up with it. Let's see. What about now? I might have been talking away from the microphone. That's what it is. This microphone, you have to talk right into the top of it. If not, your voice is lowered. And a lot of times I don't even pay attention where the mic is. Make sure, yeah. So we will set up our copy trade this morning. We will be copy trading at least starting out 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts. If we get a nice setup, we will take that trade first thing this morning. If we don't like the movement, we'll just switch over to our eval. Let's see here. We do have news this morning, guys. And that's at 8:45 this morning. Hopefully it doesn't turn into like a super choppy morning. Nice. Like I said, just still trying to get my stuff set up. I feel like I'm just kind of running behind today. Fish Lips, how many payouts have you gotten with your from starting trading the whole numbers? Oh no, not like how much, just how many. Since you started just strictly trading the whole numbers pretty much. 6 or 7? Nice. So we already finished the opening 15 minutes. If this candle can kind of stay closed above the 21, that'll be a nice indicator of us moving back up. And basically what we'll do is I think we'll be moving back up to the 400. So if we can find an entry, we definitely have a really nice target up there at the 400s at that data wick. So we'll mark that out. That way we don't forget about it. Wouldn't mind getting a nice 100-point move this morning. Good morning, everyone. Be careful trading around 9:45 this morning. We do have 3-star news at 9:45. So you might have a short window this morning of trying to find a trade if you can find something right at the opening. But the closer you get to that 9:45, you want to approach it with caution because you don't want to get stuck in a trade and whatever profit you just gets destroyed by the crazy whipsaw action. This morning we did have what is that called? Non-farm payroll, which is weird because I always thought non-farm payroll fell on Fridays, but maybe it's off since the government shutdown from last month, so it might just be off. Late numbers. So if you're just joining us, we're trading we have switched over to March contracts. So if you're on the NQ and your numbers look different from mine, it's because we're on March contracts. And that's going to be listed under MNQH. It'll be the H one. It's the March contracts. And that's another thing we have to consider too is the community. I call it, say the community is still kind of on 2 different contracts. You still have some that are probably still trading December contracts, and I haven't really looked at the volume as far as see if the volume is more on the March contracts. I don't know if anybody knows where to find that. I know there's somewhere you can find it. I've just never looked. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people in the TikTok one today. I don't know why it does it where it says like suspicious activity or something like that. So we did print outside the 15 minutes, but I'm not really a big fan of these candles here, where this is usually a good indicator that we're going to be probably pulling back here. Whenever we open up a candle on the top of that 15 minutes and you have this huge wick right there. Last time I got stopped out on this type of trade, and we hit it and didn't bounce. So now that we recognize that pattern, we definitely do not mess with that pattern. So sometimes it's just better to stay away from these candles that have the nasty wicks. Good morning, Christy. Yeah, for some reason, I think I think TikTok's going to throttle my live because they said they encounter suspicious activity, and I don't even know what that is. So I hit the little appeal button, but I don't understand what you would do to get that. I don't know if you know or not. All right, so to the top side targets, we're gonna if we're able to get along, we're hoping that we can catch a runner to retake out this data wick up here, and that's all the way up at the 380s. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that. Let's see, maybe I'll Google it. I'm not sure. So, like I said, we don't really have a lot to go on today. The two things I think that's going to be against us today is the rollover week is still kind of in effect until a few more days until we get past the rollover, and also we have 3-star news here in what 20 about 20 minutes here 9:45. So those are the only things that you need to be careful of this morning if you're going to be taking trades. So if you're in a trade around 9:45, try to protect your profits in case we get some kind of whipsaw action. And if it's only like a couple minutes until that time, I wouldn't even bother getting in a trade just to keep your accounts safe. And I feel like if we can get moving to the upside, maybe find some kind of structure, we got this nice move to the upside that we can run. So you got about 100 points to try to get some kind of entry between here and there, unless it just does one of those things where it's just like a freight train going to the upside this morning. And those are usually kind of tough to grab. All right. So I don't know why I did that. The page got stuck on the. Ah, come on. So we already had that. So it's going to be the S&P Global Manufactured numbers. I mean, I don't think those will be like huge market moving numbers. It shouldn't be anything like the non-farm payroll. That's where you got the big move from this morning is that non-farm payroll November numbers. And we already ran the low. So we already got the low down there about the 15 minutes candle. And right now, like I said, we have not ran that high. So Good morning, Darius. Are you still holding that short on those old contracts, December contracts, or did you finally get out of that position, Darius? Wow, I was surprised we're moving down like this. I was definitely anticipating the data wick up here. So what'd be nice to see here is for us to kind of manipulate the 15 minutes. So run down to the 200 here, kind of find support, then rip back out the top. So it'll be kind of like the same move we had yesterday where it manipulated out the top of the 15 minutes, then just sailed back through it. So that's kind of what we're going to see if we get that same setup as yesterday, but on the reverse side. So, all right, guys, less than 2 minutes to go. Good luck today. All right, here comes the break. So, guys, if you're just joining us, we are on the on March contracts. So if you're joining us and your numbers look different from mine, it's because we're on March contracts. A lot of times a Ninja Trader will flip them for you. So if you're on Ninja Trader, it should say MNQ March 26, or if you're still trading last contract, it should say MQ December 25th. All right, here we go. Got less than 20 seconds left. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing the manipulation and back out the top here, because we have that data wick up here. I feel like this could offer us a nice 100-point move. Just got to find an entry to jump in without costing a lot. All right, there's the... Hoping that was the manipulation. Looking good so far. Couldn't plan it any better, guys. So if you watch this stuff, you see it do the same crap over and over every day. So now we just need to see a nice, clean, closed candle here. Now, what I will not do, if this is like a 40-point wick and it closes down here on the body, we will be very cautious on how we join that too, because that's how I got stopped out last time. I want to see a body close. I want to see it close with the wick, and I want to see the second candle do the pullback, not this candle. But see, we may not get that normal price action, guys. This is why I said, because 3-star news rollover week, so we just kind of have to wait and see. It's best just to be patient. We got 3 minutes left on this first 5-minute candle. I'd like to see this candle close above 300 with a little pullback. Got 2 minutes left. Nasty pullback here. Might just be one of those days we don't get an opening trade, at least not on the funded, because we were trying to take a opening funded trade here. But we definitely will not take it on this nasty wick. We got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. So it would have to push all the way back up there above the 20s. What do we got? A minute left on the candle. So we got plenty of time to push up. You just don't want this to be a big wick. Good morning, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We're just being patient. We're watching the 5-minute candle here. So right now we're just kind of chopping back and forth. We got 30 seconds left. Like I said, I don't know if we'll be able to get an entry off of this just because of how big that wick is. The last time I tried a long on a wick this size, I got just kind of got chopped up here. So right now we'll just switch over to our eval just because I'm not going to take this because the last time I took this entry, I got it could be still a winner, but I got stopped out. So we printed above the 15 minutes. It pushed up a little bit, then just pretty much pushed back down. We'll have to enter on a better looking candle than this. I mean, we're still above the 21 EMA. Maybe if we can stay above the 21, there's still a chance for us to move up. So far, not the greatest price action this morning. So let's see if this can finally push here. No, maybe this candle will look a lot better. Now, this candle can look a lot better in print than have a pullback. We will maybe take our long off of this candle. Man, there's a lot of consolidation here. Did anybody get along, take the long off here, or did y'all just still just kind of being patient? So far, like I said, still not the greatest looking price action. I mean, this stuff can just chop you up really easy, especially if you jumped in late. So a lot of times I just stay away from these big wick candles like this because it's kind of almost like a 50-50. We're going to continue long. The only thing that I liked about the long is we actually stayed above the 21 EMA. But another thing you have to consider is all these wicks over here. So I feel like it's going to take a little bit to get through this. It's just going to probably just chop through this where it's going to be kind of tough to get here. That's why we're just not getting that clean run up here to the 80s to take out the data high there. So it's just best to be patient. And we also have news in 7 minutes also. More likely, we're probably going to just sit here and just wait for the news to happen. So we got another 6 minutes. So it's probably, if you're not in the trade already, it's probably just the best to wait another 5 minutes and wait for the news to happen. And then let the market kind of reset a little bit and get into some normal price action instead of just, trying to catch this and getting burned on it. I mean, this is definitely pretty choppy price action. I mean, anytime that you push to the 60, then pull back 60 points like this, and on these 5-minute candles, this is just really bad price action. This type price action will ruin your day if you jump in late. So this is why we never really jump in late on 5-minute candles. So if you miss the 5-minute candle, it's better to not even take it. So anytime I take my candles, I always make sure I try to take it as close as I can to the pullback there and take it right here at the close of the previous candle. But since it's so wicky right now, I'm just going to stay away from this because we have news in less than 5 minutes. So we'll just wait for news to happen. Then hopefully we can find an entry. Back at the 21 EMA. Did anybody take a trade this morning? What's up, Danson? How are you doing today? If you're just joining us, what's up, Flowman? We're just being patient, waiting for the news to happen. We still got about 3 minutes before 3-star red folder news. So, and it's kind of starting out pretty choppy this morning. So we're just sitting here being patient. Don't want to start out the day red. So, I mean, we've had like a 100-point move, but if you're watching it from the 5-minute candle, it's not a clean 100-point move. It's just all, wick. You don't have very much body. So I'm looking for a full body candle with a small wick, then the wick that pulls back into the body candle, then the next set of body will continue down. So they just haven't been clean 5-minute candles. So it's just best to be sitting on the side. And right now, this is one of these deals where if you jump in these 5-minute candles late, the pullbacks will just wreck you. So like say if you jumped in at the 50 here as we're pushing down, you're having like 20 and 30 point pullbacks on the wicks, and it will just wreck your day out the gate. All right, got 2 minutes left here, guys. So, like I said, I think it was just the best way to approach this morning. The closer it got to our 3-star news, it's probably just best to be patient and wait for after the 9:45 and see if the market can just, regroup, build some more structure on the 5 minutes, and then we can look for a position here. All right, guys, if you're in a trade, remember to protect your profit or have your stop loss set, because we're about to have a possible some jolt here. I don't know how many points. I'm hoping it doesn't do a lot, because I'm not a fan whenever news messes up the charts, because then you have to wait. So usually you just have to sit around and wait for the market to kind of get back into normal movement. So I'm not even a fan of 3-star news. You like the go long above the 207? Go long. All right, 10 seconds here. Nice. Not too much crazy news. I like that. Man, you guys should see the 1 hour candle. The 1 hour candle barely has a body on it. It's just one big giant stick. So might just have to wait for a new 1 hour candle here, because we have the 1 hour over here. Look at this 1 hour candle. Just one big stick. All right, there's the break there of the 15 minutes to the downside. And whip back up again. Holy crap, boy, this thing's just trapping hard today. It may be one of these days where you just take your 10, 20 points and not try for runners, because all the runners would have been stopped out so far. Oh, goodness. Thank you guys for joining and watching today. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe button if you're new here. I may have to end up resetting my TikTok settings later, because for some reason I think they have my channel throttled this morning. Nice. So far, I only really like this price action on the, let's see, here, that's 64, maybe 64. Did you get long at the 207? Man, we already ripped up 100 points. Isn't this crazy? I bet you the ADR on these candles are crazy today. I mean, they're like 100 points. Probably definitely won't take this on the funded, just because the whippy price action. I think we're just going to have to wait for us to get back into normal price action. I don't know if the December contracts look any cleaner. I don't know if anybody's looked at the December contracts and see if they look a lot cleaner than what these new contracts look like today. Because right now we're just getting a lot of whipsaw action this morning. All right, we got less than 1 minute to go. Got 30 seconds left, so hopefully this next candle will give us a nice entry here. Don't know if we get the 20% pullback. That'd be the nicer point. So we're at the 30s. This next candle pull back and maybe retest the 10s or the 300s here. All right, oh, damn it. Still not very clean. So good thing to jump in. Shit, okay. One of those mornings, guys. Was having issues with moving my order. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. I tried to move it and it was stuck. I had that same issue yesterday. Let me try a trade on a sim account real quick just to make sure that I can enter and damn boy. I'm pretty sure I was on the phone, dude. Next target up's probably going to be 439. So if we stay above this, we should get a target up to 435, 439. We're just not having very clean candles today. I don't know how much time we got left. We got a few minutes. Let me switch over to December contracts, see if December looks any cleaner. Not really. Looks just as bad. Has anybody gotten trapped in a position this morning? All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, it's been super choppy this morning, guys. Sorry about that. I had to reset. For some reason, I want to say my channel got throttled there. So if you're just joining us, guys, we're just kind of being patient and waiting for the market to kind of settle down. So far, it's just been super choppy this morning, and there's just not a lot of movement this day. I mean, there's movement, but it's a lot of big wicks. And I usually make all my entries on 5-minute candles, and so the entries this morning have been horrible, unless you're just kind of catching these breakouts. But almost all the runners have been just getting hammered. So like I said, it may be one of those days where you just take your 10 to 15 points, and most of the time the runners are getting stopped out. It's kind of what it looks like is going on today. You do have a nice target to the upside. Hopefully most of you guys survived the morning, because this morning has been pretty choppy so far. So not a lot of follow through. Most of all the candles have had like 50 and 60 point pullbacks. All right, we got about 2.5 minutes left on this candle here. 2 minutes left. So this candle does look a lot cleaner. I say that as we pull back. We've also got a potential inside bar this morning too. But the only thing that sucks about this inside bar, it's heading right into the 400. All right, we still got 1 minute, 30 seconds left on this candle. All right, looking pretty good so far, guys. Can target the 430s up there. That would be your first next target, those 430s. All right, we got about to have a new candle here. Depending on how big this next weekend, we may participate on this one here and see if we get the push up there to the 430s. So far. The 50% is going to be my line in the leg on this. We're just in this 2 micros at the moment. So you really want to see this right here hold up here. The 80 bounce. Somewhere trading around the whole number is usually the toughest. Now, this is eval only. This is not a funded setup. The 60 area is going to be my line in the sand here, guys. Because that'll be 50% of this candle pullback. And a lot of times I don't hold over 50% of the candles. Right now we're kind of hovering around 20% of the candle. Might get dumped on. There's the 50%. All right, so that's definitely my stop loss area. So we're in this for 2 micros, guys. 2 micros. Looks like we're going to be getting stopped out on our first trade. What the, man? It's going to be one of those days. Let's see if we get saved by this here. All right, we're just going to have to take the stop out because we can't risk any more than this. All right, got stopped out on our first trade of the day. That was an eval. We're already doing damage to my free eval. What the crap? Maybe we can look for a 277 bounce here. So kind of brought this up in the beginning. The price action is going to be completely off today for the next few days or even the rest of the week. So this is why we're probably going to stay away from our funded accounts because it's rollover week. So the price action is not the same that we're used to trading when everybody's on the same contracts. So a lot of times your levels that you trade are not going to work out. You're going to get a lot of whipsaw action, kind of what we're seeing this morning. I mean, look at this thing. Basically went down right below my take profit and just rip all the way back up 100 points. Let's see here. So going to be starting out in the red today. Man, don't tell me this thing's just going to rip all the way back up there after it comes back and stop me out. Thank you guys for joining us today. If you're just joining us, we just took a loss on this trade here with 2 micros. What's up, nice guy? How are you doing today? Man. How much time we got left on this candle? 2 minutes left. Man, this thing's just whipping back and forth on you guys. That sucks. It's going in the right direction. I feel like the upwards the right direction. I feel like we're going to 439 or 440 up there because that's the highs from our previous PM session from yesterday. How's everybody else's trading going today? Is everybody else having a decent day? I know one guy talked about getting long from 207 down there. Man, that's pretty awesome. If you caught that long. I'm about to have an inside bar here. So far, like I said, we got the inside bar going here, so let's see what it paid. It did rip right away and pay 30 points. I'm going to wait and see what happens off the 15 minutes here. I think that's what I'm going to wait on here, the 277, and see if we can find another entry off the 277 for either a retest or a sell through. Was trying to get it as it retested that 23% and look for 10 points in a runner here, but it's going to be a little late. There's the 300 tests. So far, even though this inside bar has paid that 10 or 20 points, it's really not considered a winner unless it pays basically 100 points, because this is a 100-point candle. So it's really tough to take these when they're that big. I mean, unless you take it with one micro and look for 100 points, but you can't take it with any kind of size because, I mean, the stop loss is just massive. Right now, it wouldn't be too bad if you can get an entry and use this as your stop loss here at the 50. So what I'm going to wait on is the retest of the 15-minute candle here. Let's see if we can start chipping away back at our red here. I don't feel like we're going to get right price action probably till the end of the week or next week. So, guys, if you are starting to trade today and maybe you're newer to trading, this is what's called rollover week. Rollover week is always super tough to trade. So usually, most of the time, I would only trade evals just because you're just getting whipsawed out. I mean, we're just running stops. You got 100-point 5-minute candles with 60-point wicks, small bodies. So it just makes it so tough to trade this. We just haven't had any kind of really clean setups. Like, I thought this was going to be like a nice clean candle here. Then basically just pushed up a few points, then just basically sold off. Or was it? No, it was this candle here. I tried to take a long here at this candle. So this is where we took our loss at a while ago. As you can see, we literally had what? 120-point pullback before we rip back up. It was somewhere in this section here that we had our loss at a while ago. But it's only like $100 and something that we're down. About 180. So usually one or two good trades, we should be able to get that back. All right, here comes the 15-minute retest. I don't know if it'll pay. Sometimes you get at least maybe a 10, 20 point off of the retest of the 15 minutes. There's two big wicks sitting right there. And the top of the 15 minutes is sitting there at the 80. We'll see what happens here. How much time do we got left on this candle? Shoot, this is a brand new candle. I paid 20 points if you, yeah, right on the money there. I wasn't sure. So it would at least give you a bounce of 20 points. So what do we got? About 3 minutes left on this candle here. So this might be another nice candle short here if we can close under the 15 minutes. So you just kind of want to see this area hold. That's the good thing about trading on 5 minutes. It definitely helps you be a lot more patient because you have to wait for the 5-minute candles to print. All right. Got a minute left on this candle. Still got a minute and a half left on this candle, guys. Still a minute and a half. No really clear direction yet. So what we're doing is just waiting to see where this next candle opens and close. If it can close below the previous open 15 minutes, you might get a push at least down to the 180. So, I mean, that's a long ways down to think about that. It's like 100 points. $35 seconds left. $20 seconds. Yeah, I hate where this thing's closing. We're just going to have our stop loss at the top of this candle. So if it comes back and stops us out, we're only in this for 15 points. And this has been the type price action. It's been like this all morning long, guys. Like I said, the price action has not been clean today. And I may even have 77 as my line in the sand because that's the top of that 15 minutes. Because I don't want it back above 77. All right, we just retested the 77. Son of a bee. Man, this may have to be my last trade of the day if this doesn't work out here. Because that'll be back-to-back losses, and so we don't want to risk a third. Well, at least on this account, it'll have to be the last trade, and I'll have to switch over to my Padeas accounts. See, it's even hard to go to break even, man. Whew, that had me a little on the nervous side there. We're gonna go to pretty much break even here. So super tough morning, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This price action is super tough, and it's because of this. We don't have clean price action. I mean, there's no good, like, nice, smooth price action where we're just constantly moving down. Everything is whipping 40 and 50 points. Like, I mean, look, 25 points just on the rip back up off the wick. So that's what's making this price action so tough. This is why you have to get in at the top of a 5-minute candle at a level that you want to trade. So my level here was 77. So we held 77. The body, pretty much was right there at the 77. The wick was right above it. And so now we want to see it whip or go all the way back down to the lows here at the 200s. Looks like we're going to get stopped out, though, because this thing's just, I mean, like a 40-point wick. Please don't jump in on breakouts on the 5 minutes today. Because let's just say you saw the momentum, you see all the red, you're like, hey, I'm going to jump in and get like a 40-point pullback. You got to jump in when the candle prints if you want to stay safe. Like, I like to use the Fibonacci, so I pull the fib. The 23% held, and I want to see this wick as my stop loss after it pushes back up. So this would have been like my max stop loss in the beginning. All right, hopefully this next candle does not screw us over because it's about to print here. So I think I'm going to take my stop loss to the 60 or 50% on this and see if the 50% of this candle holds. Once this candle gets some kind of movement, we may take our stop loss to the bottom of this candle here. And this way we can try to lock in some kind of profit here. All right, there it goes. We could rip back up off that 200 level here. We're just going to see how long we can follow this 5-minute candle down. Sucks I have to work myself out of the red here, though. And we'll do the same thing on the next red candle. So we'll pull fib on this next candle and use the 50% as our stop loss. So we still got 3 minutes left on this candle. So we got plenty of time just to freaking dump here. Oh no, okay. I thought my live was cut off there. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. We pretty much almost hit our 100 points right here. We could have just taken 100 points out of this trade and move on, but we're going to be greedy and see if we can get a lot more down to those lows here. I just hope that the price action stays cleaner. So I know that we could easily pull back, retest this 20 or 15 minutes here, then continue dumping. Because this is just a eval trade. The price action has been just straight ass today to be trying to trade this with your funded. We still got 1 minute and 50 seconds left on this candle. This is what we're talking about. Don't jump in on these candles at the bottom, because that was probably a 30, 40 point pullback off the bottom of that wick. Man. Man, it could easily just squeeze all the way back up the top. You're up 20K in a long put? Nice. I've never done puts before, Hugh. Are those pretty easy to trade, the puts? Is that something you hold for long periods of time? Like I said, I don't know too much about the puts. Ah, shoot. Look at this nasty, nasty candle here. This is just disgusting. Come on. How does that even... That's just straight dirty. What's up, man? That was just a straight dirty candle. I mean, this thing pushed down all the way to 70, pulled back 50 point wick. Dude, today is super tough. This is just turning into a survival day. And all I did was just pretty much just knock out my red trade from this morning. So man. So yeah, today has been a super, super tough day. And I knew that. I mean, that's why we talked about it a little bit before we started trading today. It's not that we're not getting quick moves. It's the violent pullbacks is what's making it tough. I mean, you're getting entries. Today is one of these days you just need to take profit. It's kind of like this last trade. I was up 80 points and I only took 30 or 40 points. So that's the issue today. You almost have to just take your profit today. And I think moving forward, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to follow it down from now on and not really look for the bigger moves and just take what profit we can get on the trail, because it sucks to get that big of a trade and only take half of it. Let's see if we're just going to rerun 50% of this move here. So let's see what happens here at the 90. That's at the 200% level here. So that'll be 50% of this total first, this leg here on the way down. Man, we literally just went all the way back to that previous 15-minute candle. The 15-minute candle just has to look like straight butt this morning. It has to be just constant wicks. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. I bet it looks horrible. It has to. No, not too bad. Just those first couple. It just looks a lot worse here on the 5 minutes here. So let's see if we can find like a destination here. So possible push back up to 305 before you run into some resistance here. We hit right at the 50% of that leg. See, this right here, that would be 50% of your leg. I don't know how often that wins if you pull fib on all these and just take 50% of the leg pullback. Let's see. You still got less than a minute left on this candle here. So far, we're 1 for 1 today. We had one loser on the very first trade, and we had a winner on the second one. If we can get above the 77 here, we may continue pushing. Right now, if you look at your hourly candle, it's kind of in the middle here. So I just feel like it could go either way right now. How's everybody else's trading been today? Has everybody been able to find at least a small little green or break even or something? What do we got? 3 minutes left on this one. We just broke this little bear flag right there. Yeah. We got 2 minutes left on this candle here. So if we can get below the 30s here and this next candle looks clean, we'll look for a short off of the 29 and use that 29 hopefully as our stop loss. or not 29, but looks like 25 where we just hit. We've yet to get a candle to close down here. So far, the body has not closed down here. So it's just basically been a big wick push down and the body closing back inside that 15 minutes. All right, nice looking candle so far. We still got a minute left on this candle. Man. 30 seconds left. Just could not close below it. We still got 15 seconds left. We need a quick little push to get the body to close outside of the 15 minutes. Then have a little wick retest, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. What a bummer that was. It's at the 50%. I'm going to try it anyway. Back above 25, we'll close this trade. That's just going to be my stop loss on this. Then if we're just having a hard time closing outside this 15 minutes here. Yeah. One more push. Still battling those 25s, 24s, guys. This is a 2 micro trade, guys. We do not over leverage our accounts when we trade. So 2 micros only. So even if we get like a 20, 30 point pullback, that's only like what? 40, about 80 bucks. So even if we do get a big pullback here. The 90 scares me a little bit because we just ran that wick. So right now the pattern is we're running these wicks and pulling back. So we did not hit our 20 points. We were trying to get 20 points on this first contract, but man, definitely has me worried a little bit here because I just don't know if we're going to yank all the way back up and follow the same pattern that we've been following all morning. I mean, if you look at every candle before, we run a wick, pull it all the way back, run a wick, pull it all the way back. So This, damn it. I got up to like 19 points. I should have just closed the damn contract. We were so close to hitting that first contract. I'm talking about within like 2 or 3 points. And we still got 1 minute 50 seconds left on this candle. We're down $43 at the moment. $66. Oh, come on. It looks like we're going to basically stay in the same type setup. So now we're $63 in the red on this trade. We got 1 minute left on this 5-minute candle. Back to $50. This thing could reverse and just go all the way back up to the top again. Like I said, that's been like the same pattern that we've been dealing with this morning. Yeah. All right. So that's going to have to be it for that account, since we were basically 2 losses and 1 green on that account today. I should have just took my 10 to 20 points here, because we were looking for a 20-point trade for that first contract. Might have to just switch over to our Padeas accounts. Whew, today's been super tough, guys. Super, super tough. This has probably been my toughest trading day in I don't know how long. So we are in the green, at least on this account. So we are up like $50 because we have been trading the overnight session and looking for like 10 or 20 points. Let's see. Tough day, guys. We're probably just going to watch charts for the next 10 minutes and probably not take any more trades until we may come back and trade the lunch hour. Not lunch hour, but like the power hour. Because this morning has just been super tough. There's no reason to take any more trades this morning. So right now we've had 2 losers, then we had a nice winner. So this was that last short that we tried as we broke. Basically, we had like a 50% pullback on this candle here. We had the push down. We were up almost 20 points, but I thought it would continue. Maybe we would run this wick. So basically what it is, we're just running wicks and reversing. So now we just ran these wicks again. So now we're having another pullback. So just having the same type price action over and over again. Yeah, it's seek and destroy this morning, Outer. Sorry about that. I had my chat down there. Outer, didn't see you. Yeah, it's definitely a seek and destroy. So that was like the second bad trade that I was in a winning and I didn't take my profit. So I did the same thing again because like I said, I was looking for that first 20 points, then looking for the runner after that. And we got up to about 17, 18 points in the positive, then got stopped out. Where the last trade where I left like 30, 40 points on the table instead of, I only took 40 instead of taking the 80. So, I mean, we've had been into the winners. It's just we've been holding because we're looking for that next 5-minute candle to print and hopefully have a decent run. So, once again, look, ran the wicks and pull back. So, today you just got to take your profit because it's just the seek and destroy in a range. So, right now we're just kind of stuck in this range. Run to the top of the range, create a wick. So now we could have a push down to the 90s here if you get some kind of position, but you just don't know if it's going to go down there, run the wick, then pop all the way back up. So that's the type of price action we're having. And see, we're still stuck in this original 15 minutes from the opening here. They kind of make it on a smaller scale. You can kind of get a better look at it. You can see there's no body that has closed outside of this 15-minute candle yet. And that may be the key here, is to wait for us to push down and print outside of that original 15-minute candle this morning. This is what, like I said, this is usually what's considered a crappy tough day to trade here, where you're having small bodies, big wicks, and each move is just run the wick back up. Thanks for the like, Oliver, and the follow. Like I said, we'll give it a little bit more for the market to kind of settle down and see if we can find another green. I'm hoping maybe one more green will get us back into the green on our account. But as right now, we've had 2 losers this day. Our first one was a loss. We had a really nice winner on the second trade that pretty much helped us get back to almost break even. And then the second trade, we lost another $60 on it. So it's kind of where we're at today. Excuse me. So what are you guys here mostly trading on? Are most of you guys trading prop firms, or is anybody here trading real cash? You're looking for a short setup, Outer? Where are you looking for your short setup at? I mean, right now, this is 50% of this leg. Is that what you're doing? You pull the fib and got 50% of this leg, and you're looking to short this fair value gap here? Is this the short area that you're looking for? Trade day is similar to Take Profit Trader, where they do like daily payouts. I don't know if you've ever used Take Profit Trader or not. Are you familiar with Take Profit Trader? Their rules are similar to theirs. I stay with the most popular prop firms just because, you know, I want to know that people are getting payouts from them. And I've been burned on a few of the fly-by-night prop firms in the past. So, like, I lost the inner drawdown. Yeah, that can be super tough with the drawdown. That's, to me, that's like the toughest part with a lot of these prop firms is the draw. Oh wait, with Take Profit Trader, they close your account if you lose 50% of your drawdown, right? Because I haven't traded Take Profit Trader in a little bit. So we did close outside the 15 minutes here. I would have to look and see how much they allow you to make. I don't know if it's like here, let me pull it off to the side real quick and look real quick. I don't know like 100% of everybody's rules. Let's see. Let me put it above me. That way I can look real quick. Oh, man, don't tell me I'm going to miss my take profit again by like freaking 15 points or 10, for less than 5 points. All right, give me a minute and I'll look at it real quick. Let me get through this trade here. So we finally somewhat printed outside the 15 minutes. And the last time we printed outside of it was right here. And we had a big, nice move up. I want to say it's all this consolidation right here is what we're struggling to get through. Outer, did you say where your short was at? You said you had a short setup. I just want to make sure that I'm not leading into your short that you look for. Yes, this is Ninja Trader. Dude, don't have another wick all the way down again. Dude, I swear, it's been this type of day. We're going to stay under the 21 EMA and use that 21 EMA as our support here at the 80s and see if we can add into this, if we possibly can. See what is trading. Where'd you say your short was, Outer? I couldn't get it there in time. I tried to add to this, try to get a better position. I was going to add as we push back down to push back up. So we pretty much bounced off the 300 here. So your stop loss would technically need to go there. All right. I'll have to look at this in a second here. That's what I want to see us run. I want to see us run these highs up here at 420. It's been a struggle just to get 20 points today. I almost should have just went back to where I look for 10 points and runners. That's usually what I'm looking for, but the candles have been so big today, so that's why we were shooting for 20 points and runners instead of the 10 and runners. So this would actually be my new stop loss on my next candle if we can hit the take profit here on this next contract. Yeah, momentum has been super tough. Today is a survival day, guys. It has been just a straight survival. Come on, one tick away. It's been that type of day. It's been... It has definitely been an eval day. Hopefully no one's trading their funds in this garbage or cash account. It has been a straight eval day today. So if you're going to wreck an account or have a red day, please let it be an eval or a sim account. So this is a eval account. This is not my funded account. So a lot of times what I do is I usually wait for the first two candles to see what price action is going to look like before we decide to trade our funded account. And I already know that this week's going to be super tough because this is a rollover week. So rollover weeks is notorious for tough trading because what it is, the community is splitted. So you got some people still on the 25 contracts or the December contracts. And this is the March contract. So right now we're on the March contracts. And so this is why we're getting this type of price action. This is nothing new. If you've been trading for a while, you know that this is what rollover week looks like. So it usually takes about a week before everybody flips over to the, March contracts completely. So hopefully by the end of the week or first of next week, everybody will be on the March contracts and the movement will go back to normal where you get like much nicer, cleaner candles. Whatever strategy trading seems to work. So like leading up to this, what was that about research? CGC? I don't know if I missed something you might have posted earlier. I'll look at the day trade thing in a minute. I don't see a name on your account. Wonder why. It's like a little emblem there. What do we got left on this candle real quick? Let's see what we have left on this 5-minute candle. We got still a minute left. So it'll be nice if we can hit our first take profit in this next minute. And this way we can use the bottom of this candle here as our stop loss. What sucks is I know the next candle could rerun this wick here. So we could easily run this wick here, then shoot back up. So this might be a good spot that we possibly could add here. I was looking for somewhere that we could add into this to try to get a better, to kind of get a better position. And try to just add one contract and shoot for like a quick 10 points is usually what I do. This is definitely not normal price action, not normal setups. So like I said, we are running wicks today. So you might get a quick wick here, then another pop up here. So here's this wick. So let's see if now if we continue pushing after we running this wick, or do we continue pushing after running this wick? So we are in 2 micros on our trade. God, I hope this is not a lower high. Because we also have this big gap fill in possible too here. And that's all the way back down to, well, we already did the gap fill in, never mind. So wick there. Yeah, today's a really horrible day if you're revenge trading or full porting. I don't know if anybody's tried a full port or not, or go in with heavy minis. Most of my trading is off the 25Ks and 50Ks. So like I said, I used to over leverage where I used to trade overly like too many contracts. But as the years gone on, I have strictly just pretty much try to just trade the 2 micros and look for runners. And I've been pretty successful with just doing that, just trading 1 to 2 micros per trade, just because the NASDAQ has such big volatility and big movement. So, I mean, you can make a lot of money just trading a couple micros. So, because I know I used to do that where I used to be like going in with 10 micros per trade, and, 10 points is $200. And, if it goes against you, kind of like this is going against me, I mean, 25 points with 10 micros, that's already like down $500. Where right now, let me see how much I'm down in the red. I'm down $66 in the red, just so. And you can always add to your position. If you feel like you're going in the right direction, you can always add to your winners. So hopefully this is the line in the sand here. I'm hoping that we get a bounce here off the 21 EMA here. I know one guy in my YouTube lobby, though, he's looking for a short, though, so. That's not looking too good here. Ooh. I think maybe. I mean, we're not going to get another bounce. That'll be our last bounce here, guys. So if it doesn't continue back up, more likely this is going to push down and stop us out, because what that was a retest of that 15 original minute candle from this morning. Trying to see if we can get a better entry here, if we can still get the push back up here. We got a minute left on this candle. I think what we're going to do is probably end up going to break even probably fairly fast on this and see if we can survive this. Man, I do not want to lose the 90 here. I feel like if we lose that 90, it's going to probably go back down. So we're going to add to this at 309, and that'll be back above this wick. So I'm hoping this next candle you would get another push here. Oh no. Man, I gotta say, this has probably been one of my worst days trading in a long time. Yeah, we're gonna get stopped out. There's just no way that this bounces off this 15 minutes again, because we've already had one bounce. I just don't see it happening again. All right, guys, that's definitely, so we're definitely in the red today so far. So, like I said, we're having a red day. So we're probably gonna be in a red about $100 total after all. Pull fib on this and see what this is going to be. Here. Outer, did you get your shorts? It's an eval. We don't usually stress the evals too much. We stayed away from the funded today. I wanted to copy trade my funded today. I had them set up to trade, but it didn't. The price action's been so bad today. So we were going to trade about three funded accounts with the eval today. But like I said, the price action's been so horrible that we've just strictly just stayed to the evals. And good thing about this eval we're trading now, I have it. It didn't cost me any money, so I got it. It was one of a free one that I got. So if the 60 holds here, it could be a nice move back up if the 60 holds. Take some deep breaths. Nice. Nah, we've been doing this for a little while. We don't usually get stressed with the eval. It's like, I don't stress about the losers we take on valuations, especially when they're fairly cheap right now, because these are mostly all cheap evals, so they're like less than 20 bucks. So it looks like we broke that 20%. How's everybody else trading going today? Is everybody else doing okay? Or at least surviving? What I mean by surviving, I mean by like not blowing up your account and not over leveraging. So if we don't take any more trades here, we'll just finish the day 77 in a red on that account. And I have been trading at nighttime, but we've only been trading one micro overnight. And so I think we've been shooting for like $50 a trade. So very, very small on the overnight session, because these are lifetime accounts. Like these accounts here, how big of an account is that, son? Is that a big account or a small account? Whew, that's quite a bit on your 50K. And still nasty wicks. Trading 10 contracts and got chopped. Yeah. Hey, you're not alone. I'm in the same boat today. I've been getting chopped myself. Is it just an eval account, son, or are you trading a funded? Hopefully just a eval, right? You're not trading your funded account in this choppy mess, are you? Eval, okay. See, eval can handle. I guess is it a cheaper eval or is it one of the more expensive evals? Because they got some of those evals out there. It costs a lot of money. Mostly all my evals are usually less than 20 bucks. So I've been trading this new company. I don't know if 2019. So I've been trading this new company called Perdeus. Hopefully in a few weeks they'll have that trade again. So these accounts that when they run their specials are like $8, but they're static accounts. So you only get $500 worth of drawdown. Man, we're losing that level again. Man, I done got burned every time trying to trade this damn 15 minutes over here. I'm not sure what platform you trade on, but the only thing I'm not a big fan of those is I have to trade on Quantower, and I don't really do very well on Quantower. So I still struggle a little bit when trading my Quantower charts. So I mainly just stick to the Ninja charts. That's usually where I'm the most comfortable at. Yeah, the only evals I have right now is the one with Apex, um, and it's a static account. And my others are with Padeas. So I think we have 6 funded accounts right now. So we have 3 with Ripnik. But see, I'm trying to build up the whatchamacallit, my Tradeovate accounts. And the reason I'm trying to build up Tradeovate, and I'll show you, because I eventually want to start copy trading. So these are all PAs that I really haven't taken any trades on here. But then if you go to connection, I have 3 more here. But see, I can't copy trading because you only can have one Ripnik account at a time. So I've been trying to build up my Tradeovate accounts because you can have multiple connections on Ninja. And so this allows you to copy trade through multiple platforms with Ninja and Tradeovate. So, so all you need is one Ripnik account. Then everybody else put on Tradeovate. And this way you can log into all your different Tradeovate accounts here. So that's kind of what we've been kind of working on lately. Yeah, like November, I blew a funded in November. So a lot of times whenever I blow a funded account, I'll take a little bit of break from trading my fundeds just because you want to get back into that comfortable rhythm of trading. And so that's what I like using evals to kind of get you in that comfortable rhythm of trading. I want to say today's probably been one of my worst trading days in 2 weeks. So because if not, you'll just have that revenge trade type mentality. And it's very easy to get that. To me, I find the whole motion part of trading to be the hardest than just even the trade. So that's usually I feel like my kryptonite, the whole emotional part of the trading. And I know a lot of other people deal with that same thing. So it's definitely pretty tough to conquer. You almost have to have like no feeling at all. I wish I can get to the same feeling with the evals as the funded. So that's probably the next hurdle to cross because, everybody goes through that stage. Like, you trade sim account, you're all comfortable. You start trading your evals, which you have a little money on the line. Then you have that a little emotions because you have a little money on the line. Then finally you get over that hump. Then you got to move to your funded accounts and get to the same confidence that you have with your evals with your fundeds. And so I've always felt like that's kind of the steps there from most people's trading journey. Because it's usually not the trading strategy. Most trading strategies work if you just do that same strategy over and over. So what I usually trade is mainly I look for in the morning. So like I said, it did not work out this morning because we did not get no clean price action. But if we go back in from yesterday, so this is usually what I'm looking for in the morning. So like yesterday was perfect. We misdirection out of the top of the 15 minutes, which we did get that this morning. And so my entry was going to be right here. So then my next step is I wait for a pullback of this candle here. Usually I don't like a big wick like that, but what happens is it pulled back 50% of this candle. So if you pull a fib on this candle here, I bet you it's usually 50% or less. So I look for 50% less on the candles. And I want to say I took my entry up as it was going up. As long as this held, we were liking the short. So this was the big short that we took yesterday for most of our profit to pass that one Bulanox account. And even that wasn't the cleanest, but it was still where it was okay to enter. So it wasn't too bad to enter. This entry here, I want to say it was a little choppy here that day too. So the one part is you just got to just get through the choppiness, but I'm pretty sure I would have took the trade here because this is how. So you get a clean body close below the 15 minutes, and this is the 15 minutes from 8 o'clock to 8:15, and then I wait for the pullback. So I would have pulled fib on this candle here. And you're looking for less than 50% on the pullback. So this one hit at 38%. To me, I kind of find that the sweet spot. And my entry would have been down here. And then we would have took this candle down. But I'm pretty sure, I think our runner got stopped out on this candle here. So this is the type price action that we're looking for most of the time when we're trading this breakout of the original 15 minutes. But today has been just straight garbage. And then what we'll do is we'll pull over our trading view charts. Let me find those real quick. Then we use trading view charts to find our targets. For anybody that's new here, so usually we look for the, oh, sorry about that. Just make it look cleaner. Then we use the previous sessions as our target, profit target. So this morning on the longs, I was trying to target up here at the 440s. So every long that I jumped into, this is what we wanted to target. That was the previous high from yesterday's PM and AM session. I was hoping that we would get above this, then we could make a run for yesterday's AM highs, but we just could not get up there. So usually I use these sessions that are marked out for me as my targets. This way you have an entry, you have your stop loss, and you have an entry, area to target. So usually when it moves into the lunch hour, I don't take any trades. So if I pull over my charts and you see this yellow here, I don't usually trade during this session because it's most of the time super choppy. And I'm assuming because we had such big movement in Asia market that the New York session is turning into the choppy session. So you can just kind of see that the New York AMs just chop. And that's because we had this somewhat big movement. So we opened at 255. We sold all the way down to, 255s to the downside. And it looks a lot bigger this way. Then we traded up another 200 points back up to the Asia Tokyo high from overnight. So 500 total point movements in the overnight session. So that's usually what's causing us to get the garbage session in the morning. And you can go back and look at this. If you put this indicator on, it makes it so you can visually see the price action. So Tokyo, consolidation, manipulation in the London. So we manipulate to the high side. And then in the New York session, you're usually expecting a big move to the downside. And then that's where you would target the London lows and the Asia Tokyo lows. And this is what I mean by when we're targeting the previous session lows and highs. Then look, see, consolidation in the Asia, somewhat of a manipulation here in the London. So little push up. Then here you would almost, if you're moving to the downside, once you kind of get an idea which way the market goes, the previous sessions is what we would target. So we no longer have the Asia and London low in play. And so then you would go back to your previous session and look and see where the lunchtime low was. And you can see if you blow it up that you got reaction at those levels. So this was the move down, didn't quite hit it, but then you had literally almost a 70 point pop back up. Then a lot of times you can wait for us just to body close right below it, then to wick back in it. So that would be a good short spot off the 5 minute too. So that would have been a nice short spot there. The same here with the previous day New York AM low. So you would just mark these levels out in the morning. So look, body barely below it, pull the fib, see how far this pulls back up. More likely this is just a 23%. And then you could enter in this area, then use this New York low as your stop loss. So there's several different ways to play off these levels, but it gives you areas to look for levels too for anybody. Swing trading, that's where you hold like long-term trades, right? Where you're going in from like holding from days to days. I don't know. See, I've never really done swing trading because I've never been to the point where I hold trades that long. I've never done it, so I don't really know what's wrong with it. I've just never done it. Wow, we broke the 15 minutes again. I've never tried it, so I don't really have a anything to say about it as far as good or bad goes because I've never done it. The only thing that I've ever bought and hold is like buy stocks at a certain price and just hold them, or buy crypto and hold it. But as far as like looking for a target and all that with the swing trading, no. The most thing that I do as far as the larger size trade, if we're taking like a 5-minute trend line break or something. So like this would be probably a nice 5-minute trend line break, even though it might have been a fail. Let's see. So 5 minutes here. How many points did it pay? If you took the 5-minute breakout this morning, so you had 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. So if you would have probably got short here, maybe waited for a pullback. So the 90, yeah, it still paid almost 40, 50 points, but you didn't really take out these swings. That's probably the most that I do as far as the swing trading goes, but it's usually within the, within the hour, depending on what the targets. So if I took this, I probably would have got stopped out because this would have been my first target. Then this down here would have been my second target, which it never got hit. So you would have been sent through a lot of garbage. Then this would be the next target all the way down at 25.80 to run the lows. For anybody that likes, this has a fairly high win percentage. If you can be patient and wait on the 5-minute setups, these have really good win percentage on the 5-minute charts. You just got to be patient and wait on them. You usually only get it once a day, maybe twice. And a lot of times it happens before the New York opens. So you're just looking for 3 and 4 points. The only thing that looked like butt was probably this consolidation. You didn't get the nice clean U shape. So you'd much rather look like this than instead of this. So, because that usually causes resistance when you have like an idiot box there. And you can see we probably bounced right off the top of that box. So, yep. So there's that box. Hit the bottom of the box, then rip back up. And I think that's why we keep bouncing out of this area. This is where all these wicks are hitting. They're hitting this here. Like, I don't think we've had a body close below this area yet. Everything's been wicking. Then to the upside, it's this area here that we're struggling to get through. So it's all of this. So if you're new to trading and you want to figure out where the market's probably going to go, then the market's going to get stopped. Just look to your left and just look for a lot of just consolidation candles and where they're moving across, and just put a box around it. So until we get out of this area here, we're just going to keep running up, hitting it until we get probably above the 440s. Then above the 440s, you probably could target up here to the 520s. Then above that, then it would be up here. And that way it kind of helps you see the area that you're looking for consolidation. Or you can go to higher time frames, like up to the, say, 5 minute, not 5 minute, but like to the hour, 4 hour, and you could probably see the same thing. Let's see. So this would be your 4-hour charts. And so everything is pretty much getting stopped here on the 4-hour chart in this area here. It's getting stopped on these wicks. So what, 500 would be maybe if we can get through this. I mean, you already got what, 1, 2, 3. Then the next one. Let's see. Which I don't use the 4 hour a lot, honestly. But I mean, it's a good way to go if you're just looking for, targets. Then the same here with the 1 hour. You can see there's a lot of consolidation here in the 1 hour. Most of the time, I don't even look for this until after the fact. I'm like, man, why do we keep getting stuck here? Then just kind of switch over to high time frames. You can see why we're getting stuck here because of all this. Like I said, we're probably not going to take any more trades today. We had 2 winners with a couple losers. So like I said, that's usually 4 trades is usually about my max that we've been taking. Most of the time it's been 2. So most of the time we'll just get like our 2 winners and just move on for the day. And we may come back and trade the afternoon session like at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock and see if the price action is much better. Because a lot of times, like I can show you more examples for anybody that wants to see. You can see like if we have a consolidation in the PM, we'll get really good movement in the evening. You just kind of have to go back and find it. We'll just have to go back because most of the time we don't get consolidation in the New York session. All right, here's an example. So this was back from December the 10th. See how we had consolidation in the AM session? And once that PM session gets here, you get the big moves. So this is what I'm saying. You may have to wait for the PM session to get the bigger of the moves. As you can see, anytime you get big move, the rest of the day is just kind of stuck here. Almost the same thing here where it looks like you had a lot of consolidation, but once the evening comes and you break out of that AM session, you had a really big move up. So it was at 131, almost a 200-point move during and after the lunch hour. If you can get to the point where you can just recognize the consolidation in the different time zones, it definitely helps when looking for the how price action is going to be. So how we had this, I remember this was a really violent, nasty day. I want to say this was like 1,000-point sell-off right there after the AM session. But as soon as you got into the lunch hour and the PM session, it was just a lot of consolidation. So big move in the AM, a lot of consolidation after lunch. So this is why I'm saying that we may get some big movements in the lunch hour today. Lunch hour usually doesn't happen or the PM session starts at 1 o'clock. So right now at 12 o'clock is the lunch hour session. That's where you see that little yellow on my charts on those trading view where it turns yellow. Wow. Do we finally get a closed body here? Maybe we get the big move here going into the lunch hour. We have not yet to have a body close outside of this area yet today. So, and we done had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 candles try to push this area. So you still, maybe 15's the lucky charm. And this is how I usually get stopped out, because a lot of times I want to trade once we're outside of this. But unfortunately, you're just getting the crazy wick session. Even when a candle, I think, has closed out there, it always just skyrockets back up. So that's usually how most of my stop outs have happened today. I want to say outer. When did you, I know outer over here entered a short. Outer, when did you enter your short? Sorry, I missed your message. Oh, that fair value gap on the 4 hour. Wow, look at this nasty rejection. Holy shit. Does anybody here in TikTok trade ICT type setups? I know everybody trades a little different. Everybody has their own thing that they're trading. Oh, so you're still trading on December contracts. The December contracts look any cleaner? I looked at them earlier and they looked about the same. So I just stayed on the March contracts. Let's switch over. No, still, it looks about like December. It looks like a March contracts. Doesn't look any cleaner. I don't know what the volume is. I know there's somewhere that you can go see what the volume is per contracts. But like I said, I want to say if you trade ICT, usually he doesn't recommend trading the rollover week. This is the MNQ, J. These are micros on 25 and 50K accounts through prop firms. So, and mostly we're just trading 2 micros per trade for most part. This is usually not a good week to trade, guys. So if you're looking for 4 weeks out of the year to do not trade, it's rollover week. If you can stay away from rollover week, you would just save yourself the biggest headache. Yes. Yeah. It's actually MNQ. Let's see. It should be here. It's listed under that, but it's I want to say MNQH6. Let me look at these one charts. It's listed under here real quick. Yeah, H6. Depending on what you're using, it's listed as different. So it's March contracts. No, I haven't signed up for wealth charts because I mainly take all my trades on Ninja and also on Quantower. But Ninja, for most part, I have been seeing the wealth chart listed under Apex, but I've never used them. So is that kind of like a Project X chart? See, I can even tell you what they've looked like. I've never even gone to look at wealth charts. I'm struggling just to get good at using, because anybody knows that if you get so used to using one set of charts and where everything's at, and trying to switch over is super tough. So this is why I struggle, because see, I've been trying to trade on Quantower too, because I have 4 evaluations with Quantower that we've been trading, and I struggle a little bit on these myself. So I even struggle using this. I've actually been taking trades in the evening. I've been meaning to stream in the evening because I've been doing okay. Oh, no, we didn't make anything today. It was complete red day for me, day to J. This will probably be my first red day in 2 weeks at least. So we had a pretty good run. And we've been surviving all this choppy mess when we did have it, but today it's just been so choppy. A lot of back and forth. It's not that I probably could have taken more profits. We've gotten stopped out because what happened is, like this one trade over here, I was up 80 points. I don't forgot where it was at. We were up 80 points on this trade, and basically it just came back and stopped me out for a 40-point trade instead of taking the 80 points. So today has just turned into one of those days that you just got to take your profit, and I haven't been doing that. And I had another trade where I was up right at 20 points. I was looking at 20 points, then it came back and stopped me out close to break even, but I did take a little loss on it. It's been that kind of day. So I've been getting in the green. It's just been just seek and destroy. You'll get up 10 to 20 points and it'll just rip your face back off the other side. And that's kind of what's been making today so hard to trade. So I get a good winner, then I get a loser, then I get another small winner, then a loser. It's been kind of that type of day. So what are the wealth charts? What are they similar to? Like, are they kind of like Ninja or Trading View or Trade of 8 or Quantower? Like, if you had to look, if you have you used those charts, who does wealth charts look the most like? So you don't, oh, Outer, you don't like the wealth chart? See, I've never used them before. I know a while back, Apex was giving away free accounts for people to use the wealth charts, but I never did participate. All my Apex accounts, they're through Trade of 8 and Ninja. Thanks, Jay. Oh, you bought an Apex funded account. Do they have straight to funded? Or are you talking about an eval, Jay? I bought an Apex funded account. Okay, eval 50. Okay. I was like, I know they have talked about adding straight to funded, but I don't know if they have that available yet. Yeah, a lot of sell side liquidity down here. And that's with wealth charts. Outer, you've done the wealth charts. Who are their charts similar to? The guy on my YouTube channel, he said that he's used wealth charts and he wasn't a big fan of the wealth charts. But like I said, everybody's different, man. It's just all about what you have started out on and get used to trading. I've already kind of explained what I was trying to do with my charts. I'm trying to build up my Tradeovate accounts. And this way, see, I can trade my Tradeovate accounts on my Ninja chart. So this is why we're doing Tradeovate accounts. So I'll kind of show you what we're talking about here. So like my Tradeovate account. So I can log into Ninja on my Tradeovate accounts. And I don't know if you can do that with wealth charts or not. So you only need one Ripnik account with Ninja, and then all your other accounts just be with Tradeovate. And this way you can trade them all here in one spot and you can copy trade them. So like, and the reason I'm trying to do that, so right now I have 3 Apex fundeds in Ripnik that I can't copy trade unless I just switch to them. So I would have to disconnect my Bulanox here. So if I disconnected Bulanox and just went over to Apex, but I think we got 2 funded accounts with, so I think we got 5 funded accounts with Apex right now. Yeah. So yeah, and see, I haven't been trading them because, like I said, it's just kind of an inconvenience to trade them because I've been mainly just doing Bulanox. So that's why we've been doing the TradeAvate accounts so that we can copy trade across multiple accounts. And I'm hoping to start that soon. It's just I'm waiting for price action to get back to a little bit normal. Ninja user. So I'm trading on Ninja Trader. So Ninja Trader is pretty much owned by TradeAvate, or Ninja owns TradeAvate. I don't know which one it is. They're connected somehow. I mean, they're the same company. I want to say Ninja Trader owns the TradeAvate platform. So you can have TradeAvate platforms. Then all you got to do is go to configuration and just log into your TradeAvate account. So you just set up a TradeAvate connection and log into your TradeAvate. And then it'll list it under your connections. So I use the Apex copy trader. So the copy trader I use is through Apex, which I've had it for a long time. I just have not used it off and on. And so this way you can copy trade all your stuff. But see, I can't copy trade my other funded accounts with my Bulanox accounts because, like I said, they're Ripnik accounts. And you only can have one Ripnik connection open at a time. So, and I don't know why I didn't start that longer ago, because I didn't really think much about it until recently. Man, this candle looks so good, but it's so hard to get long. Because I just recently started doing it myself. Wow, not really sure what's going on with this stuff here. It's almost like a little 5-minute breakout, honestly. Just didn't get the pullback here. We'll wait and see what happens with this next 5-minute candle. Ooh. And this is pretty much what it's been doing today. You get up 10, 20, 30 points, and you just rip back down. So same price action. Just made 50 bucks on that long. I wanted to take the long, but man, it's like every entry has been like this today for me, man. So some days you just got to call it quits and just knowing when not to continue trading. So this is why a lot of times I have to get off the charts, because if not, I'll start seeing entries and when they're probably not entries. So this would have stopped me out again. So I would have got long here, got up 20 points, then the runner would have got stopped out. So the day is definitely, no, I wouldn't take the short. I wouldn't even matter with the short unless you got back below 72. So that's below the 15 minutes and also below the 21 EMA. So I wouldn't even consider shorts. I don't like a short unless a body can close below this level here. So I don't like trading range. So this is what this is. This is range trading. So if you're good and just can sit through somewhat of a drawdown, you're just trading range. So going from the top of the range to the bottom of range. So you don't ever want to probably buy up here around the 40s. just because that's the top of this range, you almost need to get out of that range. It's so bullish crazy that yeah, it's super tough today, Outer. This is probably one of my toughest days and I don't know how long. I figure if I can just make it through the day without blowing my account, it's a good day. That's that is the key takeaway from today. If I can make it through the day without not blowing an eval, it's a good day. So is there a wealth chart platform or is that online only? Do they have like their own app that you can trade? I want to look them up and see. I don't think I'll switch over. Like I said, we've been doing these forever. So wealth charts. Oh, I bet you I've seen people do this because of that calendar. I always wonder where that calendar came from. I may just have to look up pictures because I'd have to go through all the login stuff to even bring those up. They kind of look like Quantowers charts a little bit. I couldn't actually pull the charts up, not without signing up for it. But I was just curious what the trading looks like. They kind of have like a Quantower look to them to me. Oh yeah, they do. They have a Quantower look for them. And I don't mind the Quantower charts. It's just I struggle. Like I'm just not as fast because I don't know where everything's at. So that's usually my struggle with the Quantower is not knowing. Ooh. Tempting to take a micro trade here. I think I will. Now this is just 2 micros, guys. 2 micros. I almost just want to take 10 points. Not even 10 points. What is that, 12? Because I haven't been doing that today. And I can usually get a 10-point trade right away and leave a runner. And this way I can have a negative R on my runner and it'll pay for the runner. I wanted to target that here, but today's price action has been just crazy tough, guys. All right, so pretty much a free trade. There's still no guarantee that we go that high, but it's a free trade because I got a 10 point. So actually I'm in this for like $10 if it comes back and stops me out. And so we'll just keep the negative R 15 points. We made actually 12. So actually only 3 points. So it's only costing me 3 points to stay in this trade. And this is really not even a setup. It's just us getting back above the 300s. But today has been no guarantees with this stuff. I almost feel like this would probably be your safest target, but if you can get above those 40s, we may get a rip here. Because this price action has been very running wicks and coming back. So remember how a while ago I said if we run these wicks, we're probably coming back? Almost on every single trade that we ran, we run the wick, then have a pullback. The one time that I wasn't trying to be greedy and hit the previous high, we're probably going to hit the previous high. Or maybe we can get a decent pullback where we can add to this. So we can pull fib on this big 5-minute candle if it stays and pull fib on it and see if we can add. Right now, my entry is at 50% of the candle. So if we can... Here comes the new. So let's see if we can. I don't know if we'll get the pullback. Now, if we only pull back 20%, we may get it may continue ripping here. Then I'm probably going to take my stop loss to the bottom of this candle here if it starts going. Just made another 50. Nice. Don't get too greedy over there, Jay. I'd put, that's a nice $100 starting out, man. Keep your $100 today. And I'm not sure on wealth charts. I'm not sure how you check it on. I mean, you just want to look for, it has to be somewhere on the wealth charts. I've never used wealth charts in my life, so I couldn't even tell you where to even begin to look. All right, so that's the 40% pullback of the candle. Man, this thing right at the 50%. Oh, come on. So I don't know if anybody else here uses wealth charts where they can tell you to go check how to check your account. Man, we really do not want to see it below the 310s. So like on mine, I have what my Ninja, it just puts it here. That sucks. The wick came all the way back to my entry. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for a new candle to print. Dude, I'm hoping this lunch hour pays. Right now, we're in the lunch hour. We've been chopping all morning, so let's hopefully the lunch hour pays here. So we can print above 40 and use this wick as our stop loss, because most of the time what happens, you'll push up, push back into that 40 on these 5-minute wicks, and you got a lot of them here. Look, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got like 6 wicks here. So that's going to be a good support line. We just got to get above it. All right, so free trade in case it does come back. Now, this is where I've been talking about taking profit at, guys. See, we haven't taken any profit. We're up 30 points, and stuff has just been coming back and stopping me out. No, I don't really do teaching. Like, I don't feel like I would be the right person for teaching. I just tell people what I do. I think everybody almost needs their own, like, nick. I think you could take some of the stuff I do or take some of the stuff like what this is what I, most time what I've done over my trading journey, just take little stuff, what everybody does, and just kind of put it together and just see what works best for you. So like I've recently, for the last few months, have started using 5-minute charts. I used to only use 1-minute charts, but then I kind of figured out 5-minute charts helps me be a lot more patient than the 1-minute charts. And how I started trading the 5-minute charts is off of the 5-minute inside bar. And believe it or not, the inside bar worked today, but we did not take it. No, this was the inside bar today. This one here. So, but so I like using the 5-minute charts. I feel like it helps me be a lot more patient. But today the 5-minute charts have been so whipping, like with these big wicks and small bodies, that it's been so hard to get good follow through. So we've had no follow through today on none of our entries. Like technically I probably should just take my 30 points, and that's a good trade. A 30-point trade is a good trade. You should just take your 30 points and move on. And that's what I have not been doing today. I'm hoping I can take my stop loss here, and this way we can at least lock in close to 20 points. So, because there's no chance we run these highs up there. But so if we hit the 85, so what is that? 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 80. So that'd be 70 points there. I'm targeting right below these highs from earlier. Man, this thing could pull all the way back to the 21 EMA to here. So what you need to happen is you need that 40 level to hold off. Are we at the, we're at the 40 level. That's what it is. See how we keep hitting this 40 level, and that's where all these wicks are at. All we did was basically run these wicks for basically a deeper pushback. This wick right here. Hopefully this wick here will save us for the pushback up. I'm thinking about just taking profit there. This way we don't take zero, because this way we can at least lock in 10 points if this doesn't continue higher. Because you're probably only going to get one pullback and bounce before it basically gets through this wick. And it would have to go all the way back down to the bottom of this wick at the 300. And you could possibly look for a bounce down at the 300s if you're, but I'm not going to hold it. We're just going to lock in 10 points. I'm just trading eval today. Yeah, that's what I've been telling most people, is probably today's not a good day to trade, or even this week. This week, like I said, is going to be super tough being rollover week. Listen to the MX. He's right. This is a horrible week to trade. We got to wait for the communities to get back together. Or even this whole week. It looks like a barcode. I haven't even looked at the ES today, Dragon. That's pretty good. I have to, might have to pull over the yes. All right, so it looks like we're just going to get, looks like I said, one push down, we're probably just going to get stopped out for the 10. Let's see. Let's look at the ES. You dirty girl, you. Here's the ES. All right, like I said, that has to be my last trade. We done tried that damn long like a couple times. It is building like a little 5-minute trend line build up though, even though it is nasty all the way down. So it may be priming for a breakout this evening. The issue I'm having is we got the first contract sold off. The issue I've been having is like my run. No runner has worked today. And I don't know why I'm not taking profit once we get up 20 or 30 points, just because the runners have just all been just destroyed today. Look at this. So this is why I tell you guys not to jump in at the top of 5-minute candles. If you're trading in the you could probably do a better job if you're trading like 1 minute. You could have your stop loss where it needs to be. But if you're trading 5-minute candles, the size of these candles today will just wreck your whole account. So if you ever notice, I always wait for a print of the 5-minute candle to jump in. I don't ever jump in on a big red candle or big green candle on the 5 minutes. No matter how far it's going down, I will sit there and watch that thing go, because if you jump in these 5-minute candles today, so like today, this would be a good example. We have this big green red candle just pushing. It hit about the 60s and literally pulled all the way back up 100 points within like seconds. And it's been like that all day. So today is what you want to do to stay safe is you want to wait, because even though we get these big moves downs, you want to wait for this candle to print, have a little pullback. And even this is a fairly decent stop loss. I mean, this is depending on your size that you're trading with. So what is that? Almost like a 20, 30 point stop loss, which isn't too bad. And then just have your entry here at the close of this candle for the push through. And this is where I've been getting most of my profit from. But unfortunately, we've been getting stopped out because we've been wicking back up. Yeah, Jay, if you're taking this, man, don't jump in on these 5-minute candles. Like, I'm talking about once they've already started moving. You want to do it as it closes and opens, then wait for the pullback. You too, Outer. Thanks for hanging out today. I hope you're able to lock in some profit on that short you took earlier. I'm not saying they won't work for you or won't have success with them, but, you know, there's just going to be that one day that is just going to wreck you. What's up, Solo? How are you doing today? Hopefully tomorrow will be much better. If not tomorrow, Thursday. Usually about 2 or 3 days after the market rolls over to new contracts, usually the price action gets a little better. You blew a few EPEC eval? Oh, yeah. That I've been telling everybody here. I said, today's about survival. If you can make it through the day just surviving without blowing something up, it's a good day. And you probably shouldn't even be trading today. We took a little winner a while ago. I think we actually got almost back into the break even. Definitely don't trade your funded accounts today, guys. Even though the morning's already over, but the funded accounts will just get wrecked in this stuff. Tried the last eval halfway there last. Oh, that's right. You do a lot of the overnight session. I have been practicing the overnight session. I've been doing fairly good. So what I've been doing overnight is looking for like one micro, looking for like 20, like a 20-point move. So most of the time you got to hold it a while. And so this is what we're doing. So right now we're up $344 on this account here. But see, the drawdown, this is a static account. So you have to trade this small because it doesn't take much to blow it up because you only get $500 in drawdown. And these are those Prodeus accounts that cost like $8. So these are like $8 Prodeus accounts. They're static accounts. And so the more money you make, the bigger drawdown you get. So right now my drawdown is sitting at $850 or $844. So... And so Prodeus, they have the old APEC rules. I don't know if any of you guys remember how APEX rules used to be. They used to be a lot more lenient. I want to say 80 on those. They have another thing. If you're good at passing them without blowing them, they have a all-in account for 55. They have the old APEC rules solo. Like 1 day to pass. If you remember how lenient Apex used to be on the rules back in the day, that's what they're like. They don't have the stricter rules. Now they may have one on the funded account where you can make so much in a day, but I'm not sure what that percentage is. Watch this thing rip now, guys. But I'm not taking this thing again. So we're going to sit. I don't care if this thing does go to the 400s. We're going to sit. I done tried this move quite a few times and not have any luck on it. So it just varies from month to month depending on the price action. So I expect December to be somewhat slow this month. Just best to sit to the side. Like I don't make a living trading, if that's what you're asking, Daniel. Like most of my income comes from multiple streams. It would either, like I said, what little we make from trading, then what is the other thing called? Affiliates, which I don't make a lot from affiliates either because I'm a small channel. I also have rental property that I make money from, and I also work on the side. So then me and my wife, or my wife also runs a hair salon business. So most of all my living money they live just come from different places. They're just not like one place. So like I would never probably depend on trading, or I would be nervous to strictly depend on trading to pay your bills every month. To me, making money trading is kind of like making that extra little money. Maybe I don't have to work as much this month, or, that's how I kind of look at it. Because I think it puts a lot of stress on you if your income strictly comes from this. But, everybody's different. I'm not sure what everybody's, what their situation is as far as living goes. But if you can make a little money on the side, save a little bit more of your work money, or, where, like I said, wherever how you make your money, or take an extra vacation or something similar to that. Now you have a lot of the larger YouTubers. They make their straight living just from affiliates. It doesn't matter if they make money from trading or not. They can pretty much pay all their bills what they make in affiliates, and that's usually with anybody that's probably got 5,000 to 10,000 or more followers, or subs from YouTube. I'm not sure about TikTok. I'm fairly new to TikTok, so I'm not really sure, what people are making on here on TikTok. So, and so I couldn't even probably tell you even how to make money on TikTok because I'm not even sure about that. I know some people make money by whatever those gift things they do, but I don't really get on here to push gifts because that's not the reason I'm on here. I'm just here for the trading community, for anybody that's interested in trading, and just learn from what you can learn from me and to the next streamer that you may come across, and just find what works for you for your trading style. So the one thing where it's hard to follow people streaming if they're trading breakout trades. So a lot of times I won't tell anybody if I'm taking breakout trades. And the reason I do that is because there's a 5 to 7 second delay on trading on TikTok, and the same with YouTube. So a lot of times I will take trend line breaks, but you may see me put the line on here, but I won't say, hey, I'm entering here, just because the time I say I'm entering, I'm already in it. And the time you see it, it's already up to here. So that's the hardest part about following people on these streaming services. Now, the one thing that's easy to follow for me, if I'm talking about it, if I say I'm going to take it, like say the inside bar, it's like, okay, I think I'm going to take this inside bar. It looks like it's in a good position to take. I will do it like that. Or the 15-minute range is a little bit easier to follow people on, because, I tell everybody every day what I'm looking for, or if I'm pulling Fibonacci. That's the reason why I usually tell people what I'm doing. And that way, well, it looks like Husk may take this if it pulls back and holds the 23 to 50% of this candle for a move up. But that's the only downfall of trying to follow people on streaming. I've done it my fair share, and I just know it doesn't work very well for me. Especially if you're following people that trade breakout trading. That's the hardest to do. Now, if it's a setup, that's fairly easy. So like this would be kind of like a 5-minute setup here. So, top of your leg. This is why I was trying to target up here earlier. But leg, this would be your breakout here. This would be like a 5-minute little breakout here. So this would be easy to follow people on, like, if you're seeing someone streaming and they mark it out for you. You just got to be careful if they're trading like lower time frames. So especially if you're trading the 1 minute. Have you gone and looked at the 1 minute? Because I used to trade the 1 minute. That stuff be insane to follow. Starting to look a little cleaner. Oh, no. It's starting to look a little cleaner up here than the 5 minutes, but you got all this. This was all the chop this morning here when you went and looked at the 1 minute charts. But see, I stopped doing the 1 minutes. I used to trade strictly the 1 minute charts, but I would get myself into a lot crappier positions. So I just stopped doing the 1 minute. I don't like looking at all these candles because I just feel like these are a bunch of fake breakout candles that you would just get chopped up on. So this is why I stick to the 5 minutes. You can see the chop a lot better because you can see how big the wicks are on the candles. So that's why I'm kind of a fan of the 5 minutes. It's just more fake outs for you to miss. And I can kind of go back in the past and show you like all the more cleaner entries in the morning. But like today is not very clean at all. One person, because I talk to Methodical Man every day, and he's been taking these. So basically what he's doing, this is a strictly mechanical trade. So what he's doing is, so this is your 15 minutes here. So what he's doing is he's putting 2 lines here. And it's just a mechanical trade. And it has a very high win percentage. We've gone back and did the back test on this. I wouldn't do it like on a funded account, but as far as evals go, all day. you would just wait for the close. So this would be the close candle right here, the opening candle. So this is right at opening. So this would be your opening candle. So basically he would just have a short here and a long here and look for 10 to 20 points. So if you'd have got long here at 77, this thing pushed all the way up to 10. So almost a 40-point trade to the upside on this candle. And to the downside, 25. So almost 25 points to the downside. So for anybody that likes mechanical trades, that's a trade that you just set on. I also like to do the mechanical open day close trade. I don't think I have any on my charts though, but I can show you where they're at. So indicator, it takes a minute for the indicator. Nice. Did you full port, son, to make $700 back? I mean, you got to be in there pretty heavy to make $750. How much did you go in on? I'm kind of curious. Goodness. Oh, goodness. 10 contracts. That's full port. Oh, my goodness. He full ported. Oh, goodness. Oh, son was like, F it, we're going all in. Oh, I try to stay away from the pull port guys, but if you're going to do it on an eval. Oh, that's how you trade your evals. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you want to trade your evals. I trade mine more casually because I'm streaming, so I usually take a lot more trades. So I don't usually do that with my evals unless it's like a news play. That's pretty good. Hey, so this is another mechanical setup too for you if you're looking for a very high win percentage, like 10 to 20 points. It's the previous day close. So this is the previous day close, and you don't want to take it in the first 30 minutes because the volatility is high. You want to wait till after the 10 o'clock hour. As you can see, we barely missed it there. I mean, we missed it by a few points. Almost 3 points we missed it. But a lot of times what you can do is look to the left and see where the wick's at, and you can tell where that is. But then you had another option here. It tagged you in, pulled all the way. I mean, heck, this thing still pulled all the way back. So the previous day closed paid pretty good today. And I think that's the 4 o'clock close, if I'm not mistaken. So this is just where the market closes. And it's really strong if you got the opening close right on top of each other without that big gap. So I want to say that previous day close is probably like 30 something wins with only like 3 losses. Like that's how high of a win percentage that trade is. But sometimes I forget about it, or it doesn't happen every day. That's the issue. So it doesn't happen every day. But if you can catch it and you just happen to be sitting here, you're like, you can get a quick 10 points off of that. It's really good for a quick 10 points. And for anybody that's been watching me for a while, I used to try to take that trade as much as I can. So how much did you make on your eval then, son? If you full ported it, did you pass it? Or did you just get back into the break even? I mean, hell, 10 points is what, $1,400? Or no, $2,000, right? No, what is that? 10 times 20 is 200. So times 10. So yeah, 10 points is $2,000. Whew. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of 7 contracts. That's Bulanox. Bulanox has the 7 contracts. I'm not sure how many points you went for. Or did you go for 5? I mean, 5 points is $1,000. Okay, so you just basically just got your $750 you're down on. Nice. Now's a good time to probably just to stick it away here. I'm hoping that the lunch hour brings some cleaner price action. We get some nicer, cleaner 5-minute candles. This was a nice, clean 5-minute setup here as far as the candles go. But so let's see if we can maybe pull back, kind of retest the 300s here and print under this 21 EMA. Not a setup, but just a short if you trade off that 5-minute candle. It wasn't really a setup. I'd take that as a winner today, son, if you got your money back. I've done that plenty of times myself too, where I'm getting down and I'll just like, screw it. We'll just go in a little heavy and see if we can get a nice winner on the eval. Nothing wrong with it. We've all done it, especially if it's a cheaper eval. Man, is this going to be like a little ugly 5-minute breakout here? Pull fib on this. Yeah, see, it's already over. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing, son. I may just come back. I may take a small break and come back and see if the New York session offers a little bit better price action. I know what happens as soon as I walk away, it's probably going to like sell off, and I'm like, son of a bee, we just missed a big move all the way down. Man, I would think that we get another push down to the 25s here. You would think as many times that we've retested this area that we would have another push down to the 25s here. What did you enter your short off, son? Did you just like hop in short, or you just got hopped in on momentum? So it's just kind of like a momentum trade that you were trading, son. Jay, I'm not sure if Jay's still in this lobby. I know Jay was up a little bit, so I don't know if he stayed out of the sales. Like Jay was taking some $50 winners a while ago, but I'm not sure if Good old lunch hour. So right now, this is kind of like our consolidation zone. So like if we stay in this zone for the rest of the lunch hour and we can get a break from either the top or bottom, we might be able to get a push down to the 25s or the 77s again. I don't even know how much I trust the 3-candle breakout with the 5-minute charts. Just the fact that we didn't have the big move to the upside. A lot of times this would be considered kind of like a little breakout here. So this would be kind of like a little bull flag. And then you would just take the break as it breaks above 300. Similar to this right here. We're just going to look for 10 points. I didn't realize how close it was to a new candle either. I need to pull fib on this so I can see what kind of pull. Well, maybe I don't have to pull fib and it'll just go. I'm going to have a negative R on this because I'm going to use that first target as my stop loss. So even though we're still in a negative trade, it's still a break-even trade. A lot of times that's what I use that first 10 points for. And this way you can have like a negative RR just in case that 10 points. For about full time, almost 2 years. And I started part-time in the beginning. I did it like 1 day a week because I still had like work 40 hours a week, or, you know, I still worked my main job. But right now, look at there. Look at that dirty candle. I didn't pull fib on this candle here. So right now it's still a break-even trade, even though we're in the red. Because like I said, we hit that first 10 points. I didn't get a chance to pull the fib on this candle real quick. All right, so we're down 6 points. All right, so we're going to just risk 20 bucks on this trade and see if the 50% will hold for us. Below the 50% is just pretty much another losing trade. Man, I've been just getting ripped on these candles today. I'm going to need to walk away after this candle. I think, let's see. I think that I almost, because we took a couple little winners. Is it going? Nope, got us. Let's see where we're at today. Today's been super tough. So that knocked us all the way back down to just 20 bucks. We got back up a while ago, but like I said, it's been super tough today. So it's probably best just to walk away. We may just come back after the lunch hour and see if the price action is a little better. This price action has just been destroying us today. And I figure I'm just going to end up just digging myself in a hole if we continue trading this. So, but we did survive. We didn't blow up our account. We've been in the red, the green, the red, the green. So it's been kind of one of those days with our account. We never did get to trade our funded account just because the price action was pretty much garbage today. So we just mainly just stuck to our eval trades today. And we're a little bit more aggressive on those. And this is a fairly new account because we passed our eval yesterday. So we'll have, starting again tomorrow, we should have like six funded or seven funded. I think it's seven. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, seven. So we have 5 with Apex, 2 with Bulanox, and the evals we'll have is the one with Apex. But today has been super tough, guys. So hopefully you guys survive. I mean, you can see the price action here. It's been super tough. I'm not sure what strategy most of you guys are trading. Most of the time, most of the profit that we make always comes from the first 30 minutes. We hardly ever trade at this time of the day. I mean, talking about hardly ever. Most of the time I get off the charts at 11:30 max is because it's the lunch hour. So the lunch hour is not very good to trade. And this is how we usually will trade our charts. So we will trade within this pocket of area here. If you can't find a trade and it gets out of this pocket, it's just best to walk away, especially whenever you see the yellow pop up. So this is your New York lunch hour. So it usually turns into just chop. So this is how we usually trade our time zone. Then in the evenings, we've been trying to trade Tokyo. So we just started trading Tokyo probably a few weeks ago. And we're just looking for, like, say, 1 micro for like a 20-point move. And it's just level to level. So like last night, we made $50 in Tokyo. And this count right here has strictly been trading in Tokyo, except for like one day I think I traded in New York. So we're up 350 on this account. And these are the Prodeus accounts. And you don't really see me trade these a lot during New York because I don't like trading on Quantower during the New York session. I don't mind doing it in the evenings because it's slow. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We may come back for Power Hour to see if we can find a trade to maybe make some profit. So like I said, most of our stuff's all been break even and small losses. So that one bigger trade, we're at least able to get our profit back, but then we lost again. Then, like I said, it's just a lot of back and forth today. So hopefully you guys survive today. And we just trade on 2 micros too, guys, too. So we're not trading super heavy either. So I know some of you guys are, I think a couple guys, they trade fairly heavy, but I just trade on 2 micros. That way you can take losses. Oh no, you're good, Fish Lips. There haven't been a lot to talk about today, man. We just been surviving today in the market, just trying to get away from without blowing our account has been kind of the ideal today. So, and it's okay to do that. Some people will trade their funded or evals, like full port them, because they don't want to spend the time trading them. I spend my time trading evals because I like the chart time, and I use them also for streaming. So a lot of chart time and streaming. I usually look for 1 funded trade a day. And if the market is usually garbage, we don't usually trade our funded. So usually we're just waiting for clean setups for our fundeds. With evals, we take a little bit more aggressive moves. So this is why you'll hear me repeat that I'm trading evals, because I don't want you guys to like, oh, is this a setup or something? And I trade my funded and it don't go your right way. So I don't want to see anybody mess up their funded accounts because those things cost a lot of money. So, and it usually hurts, makes you have a bad day if you mess up your funded. So you don't want to do that. All right. Thank you, guys.